Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Imran. Welcome to my channel Linguistics and Literature with Imran. In this lecture, we will discuss English academic style and language. So we will learn how academic language is different from non-academic language. This lecture is very fruitful for those who are writing their BS thesis or MPhil or even PhD dissertation. So let's begin our today's lecture. Formal style. So academic language is all the time formal. So the style will be formal. The style of English academic writing is formal. Its main characteristics are the absence of conversational features. So we avoid to use conversational features. So we will learn what are conversational features on coming slides, and the use of an appropriate academic vocabulary. So we use academic vocabulary and we avoid conversational features. So developing a command of formal style is extremely important for non-native speaker wishing to master the conventions of English academic discourse. So whenever you are writing your thesis, research article, it's important to focus that what is the style of your writing. Right? Whether your tone is conversational, for example, won't, isn't, don't, right? Such kind of words you're using, fine. Or like my chap, or using like friend. So such kind of vocabulary come in the category of conversational style or conversational tone. Compare 4 pairs of sentences. It will not be difficult for you to decide which are written in formal style and which are in informal. So what features of formality or informality can you find in the sentences? Let's discuss and those 4 sentences, compare and contrast. So you can see, thanks a lot for the invitation, but I'm afraid I can't come. On the other hand, we have, thank you very much for your kind invitation. I regret it will not be possible for me to come. So on the left hand, you can see a sentence, thanks instead of thank you. So thanks, it is informal, and thank you, it is formal, right? Similarly, you can see a lot, that is informal, and very much, that is formal. And then you can see that I am afraid and I regret. So I am afraid, it is informal tone, informal style, and I regret, it is a formal style or formal tone. So it will not be possible for me to come, right? And I can't come. So I can't, here we use abbreviated form of cannot. And here you can see that it will not be possible for me to come. So this is a formal. So you can identify that what are the features which contribute to formal style, and that formal style will come into the category of academic language. And what are the features which are missing in the language that make it an informal style or non-academic language. So thanks is not an academic language. A lot is not an academic language. And I'm afraid is not an academic language. And I can't come is not academic language. So 4 features we can identify. Thanks, a lot, and I'm afraid, and I can't come. And here we can identify 4 elements or 4 expression or vocabulary. Thank you, that's formal. Very much is formal. I regret is formal. And it will not be possible for me to come, formal. So you can't write such kind of sentences or such kind of vocabulary in academic writing, while you can write such kind of sentences and such kind of words in academic writing. The second, you can see that I really can't comment on the findings of this paper. Here you can see that I really can't. So instead of I really am not currently in a position. So I really, that will be informal. And I am not currently in a position to provide, that'll be formal. And can't comment. Instead of can't, you can say that I'm not. Right? This paper, on the finding of this paper. Right? So you can't use really, you can't use can't. Fine. So you will say that I'm not currently in a position to provide any comment on the finding of this paper. The third example, you can see that will you write me back as soon as possible? I am waiting for your reply. And the formal style will be that I would greatly appreciate instead of will you write me. So you would go a step back and you say that I would be greatly appropriate hearing from you at your earliest convenience. So what are informal vocabulary here? That is will, right? Or instead of will you write, I would greatly appreciate, right? Hearing from you at your earliest convenience, rather than to say reply. Okay, your reply. I'm waiting for your reply. And if you need any further detail, please let me know. With best wishes, Alex. So this is informal tone. If you need any further detail, you can say that I should be pleased to provide any further details you request. Sincerely yours, Alex Brown. Right? So you can see that if you need and I should be pleased further detail to provide any further detail, you request sincerely yours. So instead of with best wishes, we say sincerely yours. With best wishes, that will be conversational tone. And sincerely yours, that will be academic language. Now, first, contraction. You can't use contracted form in academic language or academic writing style. Now, the research won't be continued until appropriate finding is secure. So the research will not be continued until appropriate finding is secure. So instead of won't, you will say will not, because won't, it is acceptable in conversation when you speak someone. But when you write your thesis, research article, right, even essay, school, college essay, you don't have to write won't contracted form. Similarly, that interjection and hesitation fillers, like we say in conversation, well, you know, etc. So these are also called gap fillers. They also called interjection. So we have to avoid interjection and hesitation or gap filler in academic writing or language. For example, well, that is what? That is gap filler. Fine, interjection. We will now consider the influence of sex hormones on stress response. So we will now consider the influence of sex hormone or stress response. So you don't have to use will in academic language because it's a gap filler. Addressing the reader directly. In academic writing, you can't address the reader directly, but rather indirectly. For example, you can see the data in table 3. You can't say like this. You will say that the data can be seen in table 3. So when you say that the data can be seen in table 3, you are saying something indirectly. So in academic writing or in academic language, we mention or we provide information indirectly, rather to use you, rather to use I. You will say that the research was conducted or the researcher investigated, rather to say that I investigate, right? Now, phrasal verb, although not always, like occasionally you can use phrasal verb in academic writing, okay, but we avoid to use phrasal verb in academic language or academic writing. So researchers have found out that many mental illness are based on molecular defects, right? So where we use a phrasal verb here, that is found out, right? So found out phrasal verbs are avoided in academic language. For example, researchers have discovered that many mental illness are based on molecular defect. You can see here that instead of found out, we use discover. Yes, sometimes we also use found out in academic language, but not all the time. If you can't find an appropriate word, so then you can use find out or found out even in academic language. Direct quotations, although not always, okay? We don't use direct quotation, okay, but not always. For example, what can be done to improve the state of our economy? We now need to consider what can be done to improve the state of our economy. So this is used, okay, without direct questions. Not quotation, but questions, right? What can be done to improve the state of economy? This is a direct question. So indirect will be, we now need to consider what can be done to improve the state of our economy. So we don't use direct question in academic language or academic writing. Yes, sometimes we can use, but not always. Now, adverbs in initial or final position. The middle position is preferable, where in academic language. Then it will be shown how teachers can utilize this method. So it will then be shown how teachers can utilize this method. You can see that the adverb then it is used in the middle, not in the beginning. Right? It's not like hard and fast rule that all the time. But usually we prefer to use adverbs in the middle of a sentence rather at initial position. This work relies on previous research heavily. That's end position. So this work heavily relies on previous research. So we have to use adverb where? In the middle, rather to use at the beginning or end position. Now, inappropriate negative form, right? Like in academic writing, we use no rather than to use not. For example, the investigation didn't yield any new result. So one problem that is didn't, right? So we can say that the investigation yielded no new result. So we don't use do not, don't, didn't in academic writing. Rather we use no in place of did not. Not many, few. For example, the book doesn't raise many important issues. We say the book raised few important issues. Instead of doesn't, we say few important issue. So we don't use, okay, that not and not, we can use not or many, we can use few. Not much and little. For example, the government won't do much to support universities in near future. So instead of this, we can say the government will do little rather than to say won't. Little to support universities in near future. Fine. Short forms of the words are slang. This booklet describes the requirement and content of university graduation exams. So exams is possible in conversation, right? Tone. Or when we interact each other, we can use exams. But we can't use exams in academic language, like in official correspondence, like writing your thesis, essay, etc. So this booklet describes the requirement and content of university graduation examination. So instead of exam, we use examination. So exams not possible in academic language. Figure at the beginning of sentence, 97 people visited the museum last week. So we say 97 instead of this 97. 97 people visited the museum last week, or last week 97 people visited the museum. If you want to mention the figure 97, it should not be written at the beginning, rather it should be placed in the middle. And if you want, write 99 in figure, not in in words, not in figure, then you can say 97 people visited the museum last week. 97 in words, 97 in figure. In figure 97, it should be placed in the middle. In words, you can use 97 at the initial or beginning position. And in conversational style, you can say 97 people even at the beginning. So thank you so much. It was all about that what is academic or formal style of language, where we use and how to avoid, and what is the language which is not academic. Okay, so that was academic and non-academic language. So where do we use academic language? Academic language is used in formal correspondence, right? You're writing a formal letters, you're writing an email, or you're writing your thesis, you're writing a report, fine. And the thesis can be of BS level, MS level, PhD level, any level. Or there is a formal correspondence, letters or email. You have to use the academic language or formal language. So thank you so much. It was all about today's lecture. Please do provide your valuable comment and feedback in the comment section. Thank you so much.